reflections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Hi everyone, I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop. And this is just going to be a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Now, not really a this and that. I know. I used to do these videos called This and That, and I would share viewer comments and photographs and all that stuff, and then I just stopped doing it. And then I kept promising you, well, I have been reading my emails. I finally figured out why they were going into some strange folder. I still have several to answer, but I am going to put together, listen, I have to tell you, Salem the cat has got some fans out there, more fans than I have. And I have some great snapshots that folks have sent in of their beloved pets just waiting for the final meow at the end of the video. So I'm going to put those together and show you. I really am going to do that now that I have a little time on my hands. Don't we all? Okay. What are we going to do today? Well, I'm going to show you a few things, and we have a special, I have a homework assignment for you, because I know a lot of you are in your homes now, where we should be, and you want something to do. I'm going to give you something to do. But thank you first to everybody who did their looking up of the green pottery from last night. I just didn't have a chance to do it. You did it for me. So I appreciate that. Now listen, don't worry if you post a comment and you don't see it. I don't screen them, but if it has a web address embedded in it, it doesn't publish it right away, just in case, you know, you're, I don't know, putting in the website for Victoria's Secret or something. I don't know. So if you put comments in last night, well, why didn't he post my comment? I just went and approved all of them. So a lot of you did put links in there to show everybody who made the pottery, where the pottery came from, and that's all up and running. Okay, so I don't think I missed any, so that's in there. So thank you for that. Now, at the end of the video, or in today's video, because I understand really good speakers, effective speakers, they tell you what they're going to do before they do it. We're going to do a quick book review on Art Deco. Quick. I'm going to show you some vintage linens from the late 30s. And then I have two mystery items for you to fool around with, to try to figure out. So we're going to have, not really a contest, but I guess we're going to play a game, right? And that game is called, What in the Heck is This? Okay? So let's first, what are we going to do first? Let's do this. Before we all got locked down, I was at a flea market, and this guy had emptied out a house, dumped all the stuff out on a table, you know, just all kinds of stuff. And I looked over at this cardboard box, and peeking out, I recognized absolute spot-on vintage fabric from somewhere from the late 30s into the early 40s, probably the 30s. And as soon as you look at this, you're going to know. Let's just hold this up. That, ladies and gentlemen, is screaming late 30s. Now, what is this? Well, this is actually, I think this was actually made as a table runner. It's not lined, but let me tell you what was in the box. Curtains, pleated curtains, lined, full-length curtains, a valance, and those things that hang down on either side, what are they called? Giblets? I don't know, I forget. But you know what I'm talking about. Those little fancy ruffle things that hang down on the side of a valance. They were in there. A matching bedspread. And usually in the 30s, you would get twin beds. This is a full-size, there the word just went, just like that. Isn't that awful? It's not, bedspread. it's a double for a double bed, a full-size bed instead of two twins, which is awesome. So I have the bedspread and then a whole bunch of like little table runners and things. And I think this is probably a table runner, you know, for the vanity. Because it's finished on all the edges. I'm not really sure what else it would be used for. But I believe that's what it is. I'll give you a really close look at it. And this color, some of you are going to call it salmon. Some are going to call it wine, burgundy. There are probably other names for it. I don't know. But what a treat to find all of that vintage fabric. Now, the nice thing is there are no rips, no tears. It's not dry rotted. And I've already washed and dried everything. It's good, strong fabric, not falling apart at all, and it's absolutely usable. There's no odor. As I said, I had it washed and dried, and it's held up very, very, very well, as you can see. So the only issue is there is some sun fading to the draperies, and I'm going to address that later. I'm not going to talk about that now. But what did I pay for the bedspread, the curtains, the valance, all these little accessory pieces? $7 for the box. $7. Okay, stop being so dramatic. All right, so there'll be more of that later. Now, this I'm still fiddling with. I think this is either Lancaster glass. It might be Indiana because they did a lot of this. Belmont did as well. And I've cleaned it all up. But you saw this. I'm not selling it. I love black and orange depression glass. It's that tidbit tray, and you saw it a while ago in a thrift haul. But take a close-up look at the silver overlay. And this actually is, sometimes it's paint. The orange, well, slow down. The orange is an applied cold finish paint as well as the black. It does hold up pretty well, but this is a silver overlay. You can see that. And we don't have naked dancing ladies, but we have the sort of a cameo head there. And is her hair bobbed? Yep, she bobbed her hair. And we would expect that because this dates to around 1930. And when I say 1930, no, that's really 1925 to 1935, somewhere in there. Tidbit tray, black and orange, and I'll look this up and figure out who it is. But I've already told you who I think might have made it. Later on, to amuse myself, and there will be several exciting updates, puzzle updates, I'm going to attempt to put together this. Now, what it says is, it's a Mayfair jig picture puzzle scroll cut over 200 pieces. Is this the one that I want? Yeah. Over 200 pieces. Okay, now the interesting thing is, I'll let you see the box, very 1930, very Art Deco. Look at how geometric the bunny is. Is that a squirrel? I think it's a squirrel. Very Art Deco. And the name of the puzzle is The Charmer. Now, what does the Charmer look like? That. You see, when they made puzzles in this day, you didn't always know what you were putting together. And I have no clue. Now, sometimes pictures were included, but you don't know from the box. You just have the title. So I have to try to put this whole thing together. And hey, don't Google it and send it to me. I don't want to know what it looks like. I need to check. I got time on my hands. You know, what am I going to do? Go to a nightclub? They're not open. So I'm going to sit here and work on this puzzle. So there will be exciting puzzle updates. Isn't this great? What have we come to? You're going to actually tune in and watch this man put puzzles together. Listen, folks, we are going to get through this. Now, I don't know about you, But I am not sitting around and watching cable TV or whatever all day long and fretting. It's serious, and we need to take precautions, and we are. I'm doing everything I can to make sure my 80-year-old, well, my mother would get mad at that. My stepfather's 80, my mother's 75. But I'm 52 years old, and so I'm at that age where my parents are 70s, 80s. All my living aunts and uncles are 70s, 80s. Not unlike you. I'm concerned about them. I'm going out and making sure they have what they need, but I'm still being very cautious, and I'm doing what our government is telling us to do, what our local city is telling us to do. But at the same time, I was flipping through channels this morning, and there was a live feed. I don't know where it was coming from, but you could watch it. And it was sort of a scoreboard, if you will, of all of the cases in every country and the number of fatalities. And you could sit there and watch it, tick upward. I turned that thing off. And I said, what good is that going to do any of us? To sit at home well, we have to sit at home. But I think we've got to be serious, but also keep our sense of humor. We're going to get through it. Listen, our grandparents and great-grandparents got through the epidemic of 1918. They did it without any penicillin. I'm not comparing the two necessarily. But they still talk about that in this city. Philadelphia was one of the worst hit cities for that epidemic in 1918. And, well, I guess what I'm saying is, what I know I can do is pray. I first pray for me and my health and my family's health, and then for the world, for family and friends, for you, for everybody, for humanity. So we can pray. And I can also try my best to smile, give you a little entertainment, and say, listen, we are going to get through this. We're going to get to the other side of it. And we're going to look back on it. I'm not being dismissive about it. Not playing it down. I didn't rehearse any of this, and I wasn't going to do this, but it's on my heart to say, let's do our best to keep everybody going, cheer each other up, support each other, and do what we can. Look out for the shut-ins and the elderly. I don't know if you're supposed to say elderly or not. I'm going to be one soon myself anyway, so whatever. But look out for your neighbors. Take the precautions. And let's press on. And we will see the backside of this. We'll learn from it. Okay? So I'm praying. You can too. Okay, enough of that. All right, that's good. We're going to keep going. All right? So I just wanted to just kind of get that out there. Now, here comes the contest. This one won't be too hard, but it'll give you something to do. I bought 2 of these at a Goodwill, last week, because they have a really nice art deco or art modern look to them. Now, I don't go out shopping in new stores, so as I said, these might have been sold in Marshall's yesterday. But they have the look and the feel of something made in the 30s. I haven't gone online and done any research or done any looking anywhere, but this is a little 5-inch tumbler. I guess not tumbler, but footed glass. Probably iced tea glass is what they would have called it. And so you can see the bottom of it and the little rings around it. And so I like the design, I like the style. And I'm going to be sitting down going through a lot of my books to see if I can figure it out. But does anybody recognize this? Those of you, come on now, all you old-timey antique dealers. Right? Mm-hmm. We have the books. We don't Google everything. Get your books out and find out what this is, because I really want to know. I'd like to maybe get a set of 4 or 8. Don't you like that? I do. I'm going to do the... Oh my goodness, I'm still here. I'm going anywhere. Oh, okay. Should we do the book review or the guess, or what in the heck? We're going to say what in the heck is this till the end of the video, and this video is probably going to be a half an hour. Let's do the Art Deco book review. showed you some Art Deco pieces, and I had a subscriber say, "Hey, how do you know that that's Art Deco and that's from the 1930s?" Well, I've loved Art Deco design ever since I was a teenager, but I want to just recommend a couple of books that I think are very helpful and that I like. They're very different in style. I don't know if they're still available in publication, but you can probably get copies of it on various websites. So one book, the first one, and I bought these new and paid a lot of money for them when I bought them new. This one was $35 when I bought it. If you're just interested in lots of pictures, this would be the book for you. This is called Popular Art Deco. Now, it's more than just pictures, but what you'll see is there is some narrative. Let's see, that wasn't a very good. I'll just flip through. Fantastic. The Sunbeam Mix Master. Okay, so this book has wonderful illustrations, mostly in color, beautifully done. And you'll get some of the social history, the cultural history of the era. Here we go with that bold print. That's that bold print I was talking about that became so popular in the late 30s and especially the 40s. And you'll see a little bit of everything in here, from radios to glassware, salt and pepper shakers, lamps, things from the kitchen, furniture. And this book is entitled Popular Art Deco, Depression-Era Style and Design by Robert Hyde and John Gilman. And the publisher is, I can't read it. But really nice coffee table book for someone who doesn't want to get too deeply, wait, am I still in the frame? Into an academic review of Art Deco, but wants to see some really good photographs. So that's what that is. And then if you're really interested, now you academics out there, if you really want to dive into sort of a scholarly look, I highly recommend Livable Modernism, Livable Modernism. Did I say that? Modernism. I can't speak. Livable Modernism. Interior Decorating and Design During the Great Depression by Christina Wilson. Christina Wilson, I think, is a professor of something. Christina Wilson is an assistant professor. She may be something else by now. An assistant professor of art history at Clark University. Okay, so this is more, I would say, of a scholarly academic book. I love it, and I've learned so much from Livable Modernism. This is not so much a picture book. You are going to see lots of pictures, but there's much more narrative in here, and it's you're going to learn a lot more about the specific designers, where they studied, and what was going on in the United States and across the world, to sort of usher in the whole. There's that wonderful. I've had these, haven't I? I just lost my track of thought. So, wonderful. Now, neither one of these are price guides, but lots of color pictures, interesting sort of coffee table book, very well done, and a little more of a scholarly look. Oh, you got to see this. Now, that's a picture of a sophisticated cocktail party, and notice everything on the table is chrome, and this is published by the I think Chase, or excuse me, or Farber Brothers. I think it's an advertisement for Chase Chrome. Two good books that I recommend. Now it's time to play What in the Heck Is It? Now, before I show you these, there are rules, all right? Now look, it's my game. I'm allowed to invent the rules. You are allowed to guess, but if you're guessing in the comments, please say that it's a guess. In other words, I think this is, or it looks like, or it could be. If you're going to say it is, you got to have proof, all right? You've got to be able to have either a website or a photograph or something that actually gives me and the other viewers proof. And it's not me being fussy, but and I love your guesses, and we can all guess. But I would rather you not say, oh, I know what that is such and such, unless you have some references to back it up, right? Because we want to actually be able to say, oh, that's what they are. Now, some of you might guess it right off the bat. I don't know what they are, but here they are. Oh, by the way, hold on. Hey, Dee, are you watching? All right, Binks, your cousin Salem wants to say get well soon. Can you look up at the camera? Can you? Oh, you don't want to look up at the camera? Your cousin Binks had problems with his liver. Unresponsive. You want to be in the movie? He just woke up. I don't think he wants to be. I don't think he wants to be in the movie. Okay. So, but if you watch Dee, she has a black cat. I understand is doing better. So, that was Salem, by the way, getting ready to turn 19. You guys already know that. And he's doing very well. All right. What are they? I don't know. Let's talk about them for a minute. They're made of glass. They're heavy. They're two different sizes. They're identical in form and shape except for their height, okay? This one's obviously higher than this one. So let's just put the smaller one down and just look at the top one. Now, first of all, let's get this out of the way. This is how it stands, not like that. How do I know it doesn't stand like that? Well, that's just way out of proportion. It would fall over. This is hollow like the bottom of a candlestick would be. And there's also printing here which says patent applied for. That wouldn't be on the top. So I am 90%, I'm almost 100% certain this is the way they stand, not like this. The only writing on them is patent applied for. You see it? Now, unfortunately, there's no patent number. If there was a patent number, we could look it up. But they actually started making these before the patent was issued. It's made in a mold. The inside is hollow, which doesn't mean anything. It's like a candlestick. And if you look at the tops, they're completely flat. And we have these two little, I don't know, nubs sticking out, little ears that are sticking out at the bottom. Are they decorative or do they mean something? Now, my thought is that something would be on top of this. And when I look very closely, and you're going to be able to see it, there is a point of wear right there. Let me get it in the light. Do you see how the glass has been rubbed a little bit there? You see that spot? That's not dirt or my fingerprints. That's actually wear or friction where something has been on top of this. And it's on this one too. Okay, it's also on the smaller one, although you can't see it quite as well. The wear mark is right there. So, what sat on top of these? Were these in a jewelry store window? Was this something that would be in a department store for some type of display? I don't know. Would this go on a dining room table? Something on the top of it? I really don't know. My former college roommate said maybe they are march stands. Now, I had never heard of a march stand, but he loves the Victorian era. And so I learned something new, that a gentleman whose last name was March, and I guess it's M-A-R-C-H, created these glass pedestals so that the large flower arrangements of the late Victorian era could be placed on a dining room table, but at a certain height. so that you could still look across the table and talk to the person on the other side rather than having a bouquet in your face. Now, we both agreed these are way too small, way too low. Even if you were to stick a big flower arrangement on top of this and it were to somehow clip on here, it would still be way, way too low. So we both ruled out March stands. So other than that, I don't know. Okay, so let's have your guesses. And again, if you are absolutely 100% positively certain you know what it is, you can put that in the comment or send me an email. My email is in the box below with references. That's how you could like attach a picture, or you can even attach a website. But I'm dying to know what these are. Now, do I have anything to give? I don't know why I'm doing this. Do I have anything to give the person who wins? Yes, the fame that you will get from being announced on my program that you figured out what these were. I don't even remember what I paid, but I had to buy. I think it was $7. I think it was $10 for both of them. And I said to the man, "What are they?" And he said, "I don't know. So will you give me $7?" And I said, "Yes, just out of curiosity, I'll give you $7." So there they are. Okay. Listen, elderly poodle, I had to light the fire because the beautiful blanket that you gave me, you want to know what happened to it? Well, a couple of you warned me about that. But that's okay, I have room to share. Well, what am I going to do now? I'm just going to sit here and read my October of 1936 American Home magazine. And you know, with everything that's going on in the world, putting on some vintage jazz and going back into 1936 this afternoon doesn't sound like such a bad idea. Okay, everyone, what was that glass made for? I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching and so long for now.